So instead of like getting mad at like random women who just may not be interested in like texting you super much, or may not just be good at texting, and like they're always fighting the last battle when it comes to the last girl who left them on red. Instead of that, I think you should just like respect your time more and just stop hitting up random girls who don't care about you. Yo guys, have you guys seen this? Y'all seen this? Look at this.
This is very real.
This is crazy.
This meme is very real.
Thank you, Marjorie. This is crazy. Watch the update, glad it's doing better.
Real.
I'm glad, thank you. This has sent people into a tizzy. This has gone real, way bigger than I saw it last time. So it's now up to 300,000 likes, which is many a like. It seemed like this has really resonated with people. That's crazy. As you can see, it's another Wojak meme. Woman and man Wojak meme. Woman, hey, guy, hi, how are you? Fine. What are you doing? Nothing. How was your day? Fine. He leaves. I thought about you when I saw this. Oh, really? NPC man meets NPC woman, has NPC off. Man dies instantly. Oh, dies instantly. Average Tinder convo. Oh, so okay, so there's a lot of things, okay? There are a couple of things, okay? I originally read this as like in the opposite way. I thought it was supposed to be like different scenarios or something, where like the guy is starting the conversation. Just in my mind, I thought the guy was starting the conversation. Apparently the girl is supposed to be starting the conversation here. So she starts with hey, and then he's like, how are you? Fine. What are you doing? Nothing. How was your day? Fine. He walks away, and it's just like, it's just craziness. I've never seen people with less chemistry and less ability to speak to each other in my entire. Here, listen, okay? People keep trying to put the blame on one person or the other. Let's be honest with ourselves. Everybody in this conversation is an NPC bot, okay? Everybody here has the riz of a Skyrim NPC. Be honest, let's be honest with ourselves, all right? That part's true. You're finally awake. Yeah, you're finally awake. Hey. Oh, they're both dry as fuck. So true. Okay, here's a couple of things. Wait, I want to talk about this a little bit because I thought it was super interesting. The conversations that I saw going off about this were super interesting, okay? So wait 1 second. One, women do this a lot. They do this a whole lot. It's like a #1 texting girl thing to do. Women love doing this. And what I mean by this is that they love to tell you to fuck off by responding to you when you try to speak to them, but instead of actually engaging in a conversation, they give you one-word answers until you just leave. Okay, women love doing this. It's like a non-aggressive, outwardly way to be able to tell you to fuck off if they don't want to talk to you. Okay, this does happen a lot. Doesn't everyone do this? No. Actually, if I don't want to talk to somebody, I just will never respond to them again. But also it's difficult because if I want to talk to somebody, I'll also probably never respond to them again because I'm bad at responding to people. So it does make it a little bit difficult, I will say. No, same. What do you mean no? Yes, they absolutely do. For one, I've spoken to women before, and yes, they do this. Wait, how can you say no when women constantly come up with new ways to say no to men without outwardly expressively saying no? Like the words N-O, like the word N-O. No, I'm agreeing with you? Okay, sorry. They do this all the time. But guys do this too? Sure, I guess they do. Women do it more, and they're more known for it. I've spoken to women before. Okay, dude, we get it. You date? Yeah, I know. I don't really. I haven't dated ever since I've really been streaming, but speak for yourself. We're in a polyship with 3 others. Well, you're not speaking for yourself. Apparently you're speaking for 3 others too. Fuck you. Wouldn't that depend on the person's personality? Sure, I guess that whether or not they will. I didn't say literally every single woman, every single time they talk to every single guy. Yeah, this does depend. Yeah, some women don't do this. This is true. That is true. There has been a woman on planet Earth who has not done this before. That is a factual statement. Masterfully played, right? Got him. L-bodied, poly nerds, obliterated. Walking around like the goddamn delightful kids from down the lane. Fuck you. Anyways, I just thought it was like pretty interesting because so a lot of people are like super boring and don't know how to text. Okay, I thought this would be interesting to talk about texting because texting is super difficult, and like I hear a lot of guys, especially because like guys are seen as the ones that are supposed to be initiating conversations here, and or like making just being the ones who like lead conversations in a lot of instances, right? Or they want to be that, something along those lines. And a lot of guys find it really difficult, and a lot of women say that guys don't know how to text and they're really bad at it. I will say, hi, how are you doing? What are you doing? How was your day? Are all bad questions. Okay, these are questions that I like. For one, what are you doing? Just WYD is what you text to somebody who you want to like just have sex with. Okay. How was like they're just bad questions, okay? And the question is, sorry, and if you want to know why they're bad questions, the reason is because it's an interview about nothing, okay? You didn't ask anything deeper. I know that you have to get some pleasantries out of the way and break the ice, but it's easier to break it before this, right? And some people who are interested in you are simply just bad texters and they're really ass at it. I think these Wojaks were a couple already, and they're just having boring conversations. Now it's supposed to. Well, a lot of people are. It could be many things, but a lot of people are reading this as conversations with women. Be like, I'm still bad, but I try. I'd say something like, "How's life?" I also think that's like kind of a bad question too. If I'm gonna be honest with you, people really don't like small talk, and it's hard to move out of small talk if you aren't good at small talk, because people will typically just stop responding to you before you're able to get out of small talk. Honestly, it'd be better to not even start small talk, if I'm going to be honest with you. For one, I don't think there's necessarily a problem with small talk. You just have to be like a little better at it. You have to ask better questions than, man, the weather, what do you think? What's poppin'? Bad question. I am autistic and horrible at small talk. Autism isn't an excuse. I love you, okay? ADHD is an excuse for me too. I'll use it as an excuse though. No one will stop me from doing that. I'll tell you that right now. If small talk is a thing, then what's big talk? Big talk is when they send you a picture of somebody doing something insane on the street and go in all caps, Lamau, look at this. That's big talk. That's big talk. This is why I just call people. You listen. It's hard. It's hard to get out of small talk even on the call too. You'll start talking. Hey, how's your day? Oh, that's pretty cool. And then there'll be like 5 seconds of silence, and you'll both be like scared to say anything. But here's the thing, okay? My advice, honestly, is to not start small talk at all. For one, you can get better at small talk. It's not like impossible. But the thing is, like, not starting small talk to begin with can honestly be pretty interesting. And what I mean by that is, like, when you hit somebody up, have a reason to be hitting them up. Don't just be like, hey, how's your day? You know what I mean? Have some, like, respond to something that's on their profile or talk about it, if I want to actually talk to a girl on like a dating app, I'll stalk her profile like really hard to find something like that's worth talking about to her, and then I try and bring that up in the first message, period. You know what I mean? So like an example of this would be, I remember one time I matched with this one girl on this dating app. I forget what dating app it was. I matched with this one girl on this one dating app, and in one of her pictures on her wall was a treble clef and bass clef. But she didn't say anything about instruments or music or anything in her bio, but she had like a treble clef and bass clef on her wall. And I was like, well, that's probably because she like either plays music or is super into music or something's going on. So I decided to ask her about it. And I made a little joke too. I forget exactly what the joke was, but I made a little joke and I asked her about like the bass clef and treble clef on her wall. And apparently she plays in a band, not like a school band. She actually has like a little like band, and she plays the cello actually. And I got to figure that out within the first couple of conversations. Sorry, within the first couple of texts, because she texted back and she likes to talk about how she's into music, and so she wanted to talk to me about her music. And I don't know much about music, honestly, so I'm able to just soak up a lot of information and ask more questions. And I could also care a little bit, right? I've now been arrested for stalking thanks to your advice. Listen, you're welcome. My husband opened by talking about my cosplay. Well, there you go. It's no longer an interview about nothing anymore, is it? Now it's an interview about something, and something that you actually care about. If you were really into cosplaying, and he's like, damn, this bitch be cosplaying, then ask her about her cosplaying, you know? And you could skip this whole, hey, hi, fine, what's up, you know, type conversation that nobody wants to be in. Nobody wants to be here, okay? But at the same time, I've come to the point where I've realized that a lot of people are simply just boring. Have you ever seen people's texts that they have with their friends or significant others? And it's the most stale, bland, dry, meaningless sort of text that you would like don't know how to respond to like ever. And they're like, they're so funny, I love them. Some people actually are just like that. Some people are just boring and they find other boring people and like they'll text somebody and then they'll get like a 1-word response and then they'll respond with 1 word and then the other person will respond with 1 word and then they'll respond with 2 words and the other person will respond with 3 and then the other person will and then they'll respond with 1 word again. And that's their entire conversation. And that's their entire like text. And it's crazy to me. I can't do it. I can't do that. Boring people breed too, you know? Somehow. I don't know how they make it, personally. I really don't know how they do it. I just have no clue how they make that happen. I couldn't possibly. I've come to the point where if a girl isn't in, like, there's two ways you can say this, okay? If I don't feel like I'm meshing well with a girl in the first couple of like messages on like a dating app, I'll just block her. The less nice way to say it is like if a girl doesn't interest me in the first like couple of, if she's not interesting, if she doesn't like interest me in the first couple of like messages, I'll just block her like that because they're boring. So listen, okay, like a lot of I hear this constantly, like a lot of girls saying that guys don't know how to date or whatever, and guys don't know how to text or whatever, and I think that's true, but women don't know how to text, period. You know, they're so bad at it. And nothing will. And if you want definitive proof that women don't know how to text, then like if you're like a guy, download Bumble, and where like women have to message you first, and just look at the type of messages that girls send you, because I can tell you that they're the driest, most boring shit that you've ever seen in your entire life. They'll hit you. They'll like complain about guys and then hit you up the same way guys. They complain about guys hitting up girls. I can't tell you how many like heys or hello, you're cute, I've gotten for like, or hey, or hello, you're cute, I've gotten from like girls on Bumble. It's crazy. They're terrible. They're really bad. It's shocking to me. How does Bumble work for lesbians? You could just hit each other up. It's the whole like Bumble messaging thing when it comes to you have to be like the woman, like the girls message first is thrown out the window if they're like non-binary or you're both women or both guys or both non-binary. It doesn't. They just don't even think about it. You could just message each other. It doesn't matter. But if it's like guys and girls, then the girl message first. The guy can't message first. Guys know how to text. Just look at the Discord server with your homies. I personally think people aren't necessarily boring. They just can't express themselves via text that well. Some people are super boring though. Well, some people can't express themselves at all. It's not even just through text. They just can't do it at all. You know what I mean? But like that being said, yeah, I think a lot of people struggle when it comes to like getting like starting conversations and holding conversation with people over text. I think a lot of people struggle with that, you know, and that's fine. That happens. Bumble falls the heck apart outside of strictly cishet stuff. Dumpster fire the app. Well, wait, what does that mean? Because like without the cishet stuff, isn't it just a normal dating app? Like without the like man woman gimmick, like it's just like a normal dating app. I don't know, because I've matched with some non-binary people on Bumble and I've just messaged them. Nothing really crazy happened. If it's two guys, we just stare at each other and then bang without saying anything during the entire time. Okay, well, that may be your experience. That's curious. Hi, Bean. Nice to see you. Me and Pickles DMs on Instagram are just happy cat. You know, I'll take it. We acted the whole series? No, we just watched a few episodes. We did not watch the whole Skibbity Toilet. I want to do like a pre-recorded video on that. Okay, but like super mass straight coded gay guys are also boring as heck, to be honest. I mean, they can be. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like I mean, like I've spoken to some straight looking gay dudes before, not really in a sexual manner. I've just like spoken to them but I was speaking to them for a reason. So I didn't find the conversation boring because I got what I needed out of the conversation because I asked them about something specific. But yeah, like ask them about something in their their bio. That's a big thing. Ask them about something that they like. Personally, I ask random ass questions sometimes. Like off the top of my head, I just ask them random, just starting off message, just random questions. Just hit them, boom, random ass question. Here you go, lady. Here you go, lady. How about this? One of the pocket questions that I ask is like, if you had to take if you could ethically shrink down any animal, and for them to be domesticated, for you to be able to keep them in your house, and you wouldn't have to worry about like feeding them or like special care or anything, what animal would it be? And then they can answer that, and then they're like, oh, okay. And they could answer the question. And I think, this for me, their response is an insta block. If it's a poor response on this question, it's easy for me to sift through. It's super easy for me to sift through people by asking that question. Not because it's not like an insta block because like I think they're like because they picked the wrong animal. It's an insta block depending on how they respond to it. Like if I ask you a question like that, which is actually a pretty fun question, and they're like one word answer, that's an instant block because you're boring. Because that's a cool, I gave you a layup for you to say something cool or interesting or fun or tell me about yourself. And if you don't, then yeah, you're instant block. You're boring. You're boring. What can I say? You're boring. I can't talk to you. I shouldn't talk to you anymore. It's a waste of time. Go find your boring loser to make your boring loser life with. I know your lame ass Prince the Prince Charming is out there somewhere. Prince Loser is out there somewhere for you, girl. Try, that's all I ask, right? Right? But I think a lot of guys are bad at texting. Like it's hard to, there's a reason why I've scrolled through some of my like woman friends like Tinder or like dating apps, and like all of the questions are the same. Like the starting offs to the questions are literally all the same. It's all like, hey, or hi, you're cute. You know what I mean? It's all the literal exact same. So you got to mix it up a little bit to get their attention. But at the same time, you need to care about your like time more. For like the advice for guys, I think you should care about your time more when it comes to talking to boring women. Like instead of like, I think that you should just like instantly block boring women than like spend time trying to coerce a personality out of them. If I'm going to be honest with you, it seems like a better use of, you just got to respect yourself and your own time more than I think a lot of guys do. Because I feel like they wouldn't have such a like bad outlook on dating and be like, I wasted so much time, when like a girl doesn't like gives you one word answers and you keep trying to text them to try to make them talk more, right? Because like a lot of people will be like, oh, she's just not interested in you. Okay, then why did she text me? You know, like some people and like some girls I saw like talking about this, they were like, oh, like take a hint, she just doesn't like you. Okay, why'd the bitch message me first then? Why'd the dumb bitch message me first then? If she didn't want to talk to me, what the fuck's wrong with you? then just never message me. Why are you messaging me first if you don't want to talk to me? Doesn't make any sense. I don't think that holds up. Okay, I don't think that holds up. I don't think that's true. I don't think women do that really. I mean, they do it to be polite. That's not polite. No, I don't think any girl actually thinks this. I think girls do this because, okay, there's two. I think there's two reasons why girls actually do this. One, they're bored and they know they can get time out of you. And they know they can get time and affirmation out of you because you're just going to give it because you don't like appreciate your time or your heart enough to not talk to her because you're desperate, or they're just boring and that's actually their way of speaking. There's two reasons. I think that's what typically happens, if I'm going to be honest with you. Because even though it doesn't happen anywhere near as much as I think a lot of like weirdo red pill losers try to say that it is, yeah, women do sometimes just hit you up simply because they're bored, or they'll may flirt with you simply because they're bored and they didn't actually care, and you're going to, and then you'll instantly, you know, jump to your feet, see Patrona and give her and start like dumping love onto her to try to get her to, you know, stay with you or keep talking to you, and then she'll be like, that was fun, and then like go home. You know, or just stop talking to you, and then you're like, what happened, when she never actually cared about you to begin with, and that's why she actually hit you up just for her own personal like affirmation. You know, it does happen sometimes. It can. It can. I feel like a lot of people on dating sites just want attention, entertainment, and not actually look for a relationship. There are girls on dating apps who are just like dance monkey dance to guys to try to, you know, win her heart when she doesn't care about them. That is true. That does happen. That's not very nice. It's not nice, but it happens. And I just think the guys need to just like respect instead of like getting mad at like random women who just may not be interested in like texting you super much, or may not just be good at texting, and like they're always fighting the last battle when it comes to the last girl who left them on red. Instead of that, I think you should just like respect your time more and just stop hitting up random girls who don't care about you, or stop continuing conversations with random girls who don't care about you. Plenty of fish in the sea and all that. How can you tell what is someone expressing something they really experience versus someone just stereotyping? Well, how broad they're penning the brush. It could be like, this happens and it's real and it's reasonably common, and that could be, and you could talk about that, right? But when they go like, this group does that, that's a pretty big tell for when to know if somebody's like just straight up stereotyping. And you can like put your own personal experience and what you know about other people's personal experience up to it to see if it actually, you know, makes sense. That's another thing that you can do. Yeah, you gotta respect yourself, for frick's sake. Yeah, honestly, if I'm gonna be honest with you, if I'm on Bumble and I got a hey, and then I responded, even if I responded with a hey, how are you, and they respond with fine, that's an instant block. I would have stopped it here. So I only sent one message, and in 2 messages from her, I realized that this is not a conversation worth continuing. So you gotta be like that sometimes. I know it's hard, but like I know it's hard, especially when you don't get many matches and she's really pretty. Don't worry, I get it. I don't get many matches. I get like, if I'm actively on a dating app and like I'm actually scrolling and like I have good pictures and everything, I think my pictures are okay. I'll get like 1 match a week or something. Or maybe if it's a big week, I'll get like 2 matches a week or something like that, you know? I'm not like, girls don't like me the way that a lot of people think that they do. I'm not a popular guy with the women. That being said, like I've had and started conversations that have just been, terrible. I've gotten a hate from a girl, and so this is how I text personally on like dating apps. Okay, so let me tell you, this is something that actually happened. I'm not gonna show you the text because I don't want you to see her face or anything. I did screenshot it though from back when it happened. Like here, okay, this is what happened, and this is a bit crazy to me, but this is something that actually happened. Okay. I was on Bumble and I was vibing, chilling, doing my own thing. And some girl hit me up after she matched with me and she said, hey. And I was like, oh, here we go. She was like, hey, how's your day? And I was like, okay, you know what? That's a really bad starting question, but I'm going to run with it. I said, oh, you know, honestly, I was having a pretty good day. I started off the day, I woke up pretty early. I've been trying to fix my sleep schedule, and I finally didn't. So I went outside and I hung out with the dogs for a while I was just, you know, listening to a little bit of music, just soaking up the morning dew, having a great time. I told like a little joke about it, ended the sentence with a lol, and then I continued. And I said, after that, I went back inside and I did a little bit of work on the computer. I work from home at the moment. And then I went out and I wanted to get a little bit of exercise out. So I went skateboarding at the local park because I'm a little rusty and I wanted to make sure that I can do that again because I wanted to get back into skateboarding, and that's super fun. And then after that, I went home and I did some reading and I was watching some videos about like speed running history, and this was super cool. And now I'm talking to like the prettiest girl I've seen all day. So what's up? And you know what her response was? Whoa, cool. That lady said, whoa, cool. I instantly blocked her. Smooth, okay, respect. I instantly blocked her. Very nice, unmatched. Oh, hell no, blocker, right? Wow, cool. Yeah, I was like this. I wanted to punch my phone, dude. I gave her so much to pull from, right? I gave her so much. Like I gave her like a breakdown of the day. I said it in an interesting way. Yeah, I gave her like I answered some questions that she may have had by like piecing some things together. And like I gave her so many things out of that for her to be able to pick out and respond to. And I got a wow, cool. So this does happen. It's real. And I've had this happen a lot because I usually text like that. I usually text girls like that on online. I think even in my Bumble profile it says. I think even in my Bumble profile it said that every message I send comes with extra content because I have ADHD. And I don't get it. I don't get it. God, I must be God's strongest soldier because he always sends me his toughest battles with random women on dating apps. You're pretty popular with guys? Whoa! I'm pretty popular with guys. I mean, my community is mostly men. That is true. But I must be pretty popular with women as well because I have more women in my audience than, you know, Allie does. And Merrick does. And a lot of like other girls that I know. I got more women watching me than a lot of girls that I know. So I must be doing something right. I think I have a higher woman audience, like a woman identifying audience, girl identifying audience than like a lot of other like creators in the space. Not sure why. Can I shrink an already living animal to give them a happy life before she dies? Yeah. She's an orca? Yeah. You know what? That's actually a great answer. Cause then I could be like, oh, that's really kind of you. You seem like you have a really good heart. How'd you find this orca? How'd you think, like, what made you think about them? Are you a big animal person? Oh, I'm a big animal person too. I remember last year, actually, my dog caught a hold of like this turtle and they got really hurt. So then I took them in and did some rehab before I took them to animal welfare to get better because I didn't have all of it on me. Have you ever done something like that before? I could send you a message like that. And you know what? We're already into big talk. And now I know something about you. And now you know something about me. She's in the Miami Seawaterium. Yo, orca, baby. Do you have any ADHD obsessions or interests like trains? I thought like the liking trains thing was an autism thing. I thought being obsessed with trains was a huge autism thing. Is that a huge ADHD thing? Is that true? Now, my big obsessions and interests come in waves. So I was really into blacksmithing for a time, and then I was really into like archery for a time, and then I was really into like collecting rocks, and like especially really shiny ones for a time, and I was really into the differences between each and every breed of dog, and what they're originally bred for and their typical temperaments for a big time. And then I think at the moment I'm reading Mango, and so I'm kind of into that a little bit, like into the Mango and graphic novels. And that's pretty fun. I've never been, I remember back in the day, I was really into making things out of duct tape, like making crafts out of duct tape in my school. I'm not sure, have I ever talked about this? In my old school, back when I was on Fort Knox, I was like, I actually had a small business where I handmade duct tape wallets for kids. I'm not sure if I ever talked about that, but yeah, I actually, that's real. I actually did that. It was pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. You have unlocked a memory. Memory unlock. I'd purchase one. Yeah, I'd charge $15 for it, and I'd hand make a duct tape wallet, a custom duct tape wallet with their own custom like things on it. And actually, my go-to wallet was actually a duct tape wallet. It was my own handmade. It was my own handmade cross hatch. Duct tape wallet. It was pretty cool. It was definitely super fun. Come here. Oh. Hi. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, it'll make Boo very sad. I know a bunch of you who are watching are not subscribed. Join the frenzy. You won't regret it. Thank you, Boo.